Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. In this video, of course, as I said in the previous video, the E3 2016 Sony conference, go check that out if you already haven't. This video I wanted to talk about the Microsoft conference. Now I'm gonna get to the other ones, but I wanted to cover, I guess, the two I was interested in the most. I've watched it earlier, haven't really had time, so of course took a bunch of notes. Haven't had time to do this video until now. Of course it's about 1 in the morning, but I'm still gonna push this video out and pretty much give you my thoughts of the entire conference. Now if I missed something, which I'm pretty sure I got majority of it, but if I missed something, I'm sorry. I guess just let me know down in the comment section. First, they started out with a trailer for the Xbox One Slim. Looks good. They showed it compared to the original Xbox One, about half the size, and it's going to be at 300. I've been hearing there were other versions, like I believe there was a version that was at 350, and there was 400 at 400, and it was supposed to be a larger hard drive. That's cool. I believe it's supposed to come out in August. If I didn't already have an Xbox One, though, well, if I didn't have an Xbox One, it would definitely be something that interests me. Although you might probably want to wait out on the other piece of hardware that Microsoft plans on releasing. But this was a nice announcement, slimmer version, and it will not have Kinect ports. So it's pretty much confirmation that the Kinect is dead, which it should be. Next, they showed Gears of War 4 campaign. You already, if you got into the beta, which the beta was open, they already had the beta for you out there to play. Now we get to see more of the single player. Last year's demonstration of the single player, really dark. Couldn't really tell what was going on. They tried to make it like more horror, but it wasn't that. It was just really dark. This one was way better. Gears of War 4 looks good. Also, after that, they showed Rom will be a playable character in KI. So, they've been doing a really good job with the roster in KI. Definitely using some of their characters from some of the games, such as, of course, Rom and the Arbiter from the Halo series. So, they've been doing a good job of integrating different characters, new characters, bringing back some old ones for the Killer Instinct game. The game's been doing well. Next, they show Forza Horizon 3, which I believe takes place in Australia. Game looks good, and I'll say this about any racer, well, mainly sim racer. This is the Horizon series, a bit more arcadey than the regular Forza series. I've of course played it. I like Horizon more than I like the original series, but I can't say that's something I'm super hyped for. But it looked good. I saw some people who are from Australia talk about it, and a lot of the locations look like, exactly like what they depicted in the game. Next, you had Record gameplay, which was game that was, really hyped up for it to be like more so of an arcade type game. That's pretty much how it looked from the gameplay. I would like to see more. They didn't, I think it was enough to show, okay, this is essentially what the game is about. I would definitely like to see more about it. But it looked okay from what I've seen. Next, they show Final Fantasy 15. A demo of them playing it. It looked good. The graphics looked good. The scale, enemy they were fighting was huge. And I haven't been the biggest fan of the Final Fantasy series, but this looks good. And I thought it looked good when they shown it in the past, but I think just this demo really showcased just the scale of some of the enemies that you had to fight in the game. Next, they showed Division DLC. I don't care. Division is a complete letdown. Hell, the game doesn't even work on my Xbox One. Every time I boot it up, it freezes. So fuck the Division. Next, they showed Battlefield 1. Unfortunately, it was the same trailer that was shown at EA. I was expecting to see either a different trailer or maybe some campaign gameplay, kind of like what they did with Battlefield 4 when they showed in the Microsoft conference. Didn't get to see that, but Battlefield 1 is, based on what EA showed, looks good. Next, they showed Xbox Play Anywhere, where you could play on your Xbox One games on your PC, pretty much anywhere, kind of like streaming through your Xbox One. And they showed a bunch of features such as background music, which is something that honestly you could say for both consoles. PS4, Xbox One should have been there day one. And it shows some multiplayer features like groups, arenas, a bunch of stuff like that. Some cool additions. How I feel about it, giving us options is always a good thing. I'll say that giving us options is always a good thing. Next, they showed Minecraft. Don't care about Minecraft. I actually have Minecraft and I've played it. It's just something that I can't play for a long time. I know it's a really popular game and Microsoft has thrown a lot of money into the game, but I myself just don't really care about it. Next, they showed the Xbox One controller where you can like customize it with different colors. You can put your gamer tag on it. Price though, I need to look up that price. I actually haven't. I believe it's going to be available around August, September, but it does look cool. But that's pending the prices, and I believe just from looking at it, it's going to be upwards 70 plus. Just the fact that you're getting custom colors, even the buttons are going to be custom colored, and you also get your gamer tag on it. So I believe it's going to be a bit on the expensive side. Next, they show like different indie games. It's like a trailer just showing a bunch of indie games and how they're focused on indie games. I have no problem with indie games. I don't know why so many people do. Next, they show a card game called Gwent, made by CD Projekt Red. A lot of people thought they were going to be there for, what was it, Cyberpunk 2077, but they're not going to show that this year. Don't really know how to feel about this. I guess it's the same way I feel about the Bethesda card game. I guess it could be. I don't know. I don't care. Next, they showed Tekken 7. Huge surprise. I'm a big fan of Tekken. Not a fan of like the super moves, but apparently it's going to be out early on Xbox One and Windows. So, and when they said this, they're also offering, at the time, of course, now Tekken Tag Tournament 2 backwards compatible for free. So that's cool. You can go back and download that game. Good game though. Next, it showed Dead Rising 4, which looks good. The problem I had with Dead Rising 3 though, a lot of motion blur, and it really fucked with my eyes when playing that. And it's one of the few games I've played that did that. It's weird. Uncharted had it a little bit, but not to the degree Dead Rising 3 had it. But Dead Rising 4, Frank West is the protagonist. They're claiming, I believe, a holiday 2016, so it's probably going to get pushed into next year, like most of the games that you saw at E3. But I thought it looked good, A lot of the wacky shit that was in the previous titles is going to be in this one. And they're bringing back a character who was there at the first one. So it looked good. How it's going to run, we'll have to wait and see. They just showed like snippets of gameplay. Next, they show Scalebound. A much better demo than what they showed last year, which had screen tearing. You had some frame rate issues in it. This one was more polished. Showed a little bit more. One of the biggest things in this game is the co-op. Scalebound is definitely one of the games I really wanted to play from the Microsoft camp. So I'm looking forward to that. Sea of Thieves. I'll give this game credit. Very creative. It's more like a pirate. I guess you're like a team of pirates, and I guess you're fighting against other pirates. And you got cannons. You can board other people's ships. I think is in terms of a game, very creative. You don't have too many games that are like that. So definitely looking at that as being an interesting game. Believe it or not, this next game is probably the game I was most intrigued by, and I know you're gonna be like, okay, it's just another that game, and that was State of Decay, and what I was referring to was a zombie game. State of Decay 2 is gonna have co-op. That was the biggest thing. The first one was missing, albeit a few other issues. The first one had, it was originally released on the Xbox 360. That had issues, frame rate, re-released it on the One and PC. Played the PC version. Of course, that runs fine. But when they released on the Xbox One, ran a lot better, but was still missing that co-op. This one's gonna have 4-player drop in, drop out co-op, and I think this is gonna definitely make it a better game as long as it's polished and everything is running well. Next one, Halo Wars 2, which is currently in open beta. I remember playing the first Halo Wars game, and I'll be honest, I'm a noob in terms of strategy games. I played XCOM, which is just a smaller strategy game. I remember playing Civilization. Just think about being a noob and getting into a game like that. Now, playing the first Halo Wars, good game. And this looks like more of the same. We'll have to see. I'm actually going to download that public beta. Haven't gotten a chance to play it, but I plan on playing it. And the last thing they showed was definitely one of their bigger things. And that was the Xbox Scorpio, which is having a holiday 2017. And I believe they were talking about 6 teraflops. The Xbox One, don't want to be wrong, I believe it's about 1.52, something like that. I'm going straight off the top of my head. I didn't even look this up. And this is going to be at 6 teraflops. When this is referring to GPU speed, being able to higher performance, able to hold a high resolution without dropping graphical fidelity, and of course frames. And this new Xbox is coming out in 2017. There's only 3 cars that run better in terms of teraflops. So my biggest question is, how much will this cost? For that kind of, if that's true, they pretty much said it in the conference that it's going to be 6 teraflops. For that kind of GPU power, how much will this thing cost? And I think that's the biggest question that I myself is asking going into next year when it eventually comes out. Probably going to see more next year at next year's E3, maybe before then. But my biggest question is the price. Won't get a price till next year. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. Of course, EA, Bethesda, Ubisoft, and fucking Nintendo will come later. But like I said, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.